Ladies and gentlemen, imagine, if you will, a stone thrown into a vast, still lake. The ripples it creates are temporary, fleeting. They expand outward, eventually dissolving into the calm surface. The insult, my friends, is that stone. Your reaction is the ripple. And your mastery lies in deciding whether the stone will disturb your peace or simply sink to the depths, unnoticed. Insults are like mirrors held up by others, reflecting not your face, but their own insecurities, fears, and misunderstandings. Yet, how often do we mistake these distortions for truths? How often do we grasp at the stone only to weigh ourselves down with its unnecessary burden? The art of responding to insults is not found in retaliation, nor is it in retreat. It is found in understanding the nature of words, the nature of the mind, and the nature of the self. It is found in the quiet confidence that says, I am not defined by the opinions of others. Let us explore this art together. Let us move beyond mere reaction and discover the serenity of mastery at its core. An insult is often a projection of the insulter's own inner world, a mirror of their frustrations, insecurities, or unresolved emotions. When someone throws hurtful words your way, they are not handing you a definitive statement about your worth or character. They are, instead, revealing the lens through which they see the world. This lens is often clouded by their personal struggles, biases, or pain, and the insult becomes a vehicle through which these emotions are expressed. Understanding this changes the dynamic entirely. Rather than internalizing the insult and allowing it to erode your self-esteem, you can step back and observe it for what it truly is, a reflection of another person's state of mind. It's an opportunity to see beyond the words themselves and recognize the unspoken story behind them. Perhaps it stems from envy, a lack of self-confidence, or even a desperate attempt to assert power or control. When you realize that an insult is more about the giver than the receiver, you reclaim your power. You are no longer reacting out of wounded pride or anger because you see the insult as separate from your true self. It becomes easier to approach the situation with empathy, or at the very least, neutrality. By not taking it personally, you create space between yourself and the insult, allowing you to respond or not respond in a way that aligns with your values and self-respect. Silence in the face of an insult is a profound form of communication. It transcends words, conveying a depth of understanding and control that verbal responses often fail to achieve. When you choose silence, you are not merely withholding a reaction, you are making a deliberate statement about your inner state. This quiet response signals that the insult holds no power over you, demonstrating that your peace and self-worth remain intact, regardless of external negativity. In moments of silence, there is an inherent strength that emerges. It allows you to maintain your composure and dignity without getting entangled in the emotional turmoil that insults can provoke. Silence can disarm the insulter as it denies them the reaction they seek, whether it be anger, frustration, or validation of their hurtful words. By not giving them the satisfaction of a response, you shift the focus back to yourself, preserving your energy and clarity. Moreover, silence provides the space for reflection and perspective. It gives you the opportunity to assess the situation objectively, free from the immediate rush of emotions. In this stillness, you can choose the most appropriate and aligned response, whether that means addressing the insult calmly, redirecting the conversation, or simply walking away. This mindful approach ensures that your actions are rooted in your values and not driven by reactive impulses. Silence also fosters an environment of respect and understanding. It communicates that you are above the pettiness of insults and are committed to maintaining a higher level of discourse. This can inspire others to mirror your behavior, creating a ripple effect of composed and thoughtful interactions. In essence, silence becomes a powerful tool in cultivating a harmonious and respectful atmosphere, both within yourself and in your interactions with others. When confronted with an insult, the instinctive reaction is often to defend oneself or retaliate. But a more enlightening approach is to turn the mirror around and examine the source of the words. This shift in perspective transforms the interaction from a reactive exchange into an opportunity for insight. The insult, when viewed as a reflection of the person delivering it, often reveals more about their inner struggles, beliefs, and emotional state than it does about you. By turning the mirror around, you can observe the underlying motives and triggers that prompted the insult. Perhaps it stems from unresolved frustration, jealousy, or a sense of inadequacy projected outward. Recognizing this dynamic allows you to separate yourself from the insult, understanding that it is less about who you are and more about what the other person is experiencing internally. This realization can foster a sense of detachment, reducing the emotional charge of their words. This practice also invites empathy into the interaction. Instead of perceiving the insulter as an adversary, you begin to see them as a person grappling with their own challenges. Their harsh words may be a reflection of pain or insecurity, and by turning the mirror around, you create an opportunity to respond with compassion or to simply disengage without harboring resentment. Turning the mirror around also shifts the focus from an external judgment to an internal exploration. It prompts you to ask yourself, why does this insult sting? Is there a part of me that believes their words? This self-reflection can reveal hidden vulnerabilities or areas for growth, allowing you to address them with honesty and courage. In this way, even the most biting insults can serve as catalysts for personal development and a deeper understanding of both yourself and others. Humor, when wielded in response to an insult, is a tool of immense power and grace. It transforms a potentially volatile interaction into a moment of levity and disarms the tension that insults often create. By choosing humor, you shift the dynamics of the exchange, reclaiming control over the situation and showing that your sense of self remains unshaken. This approach not only neutralizes the insult but often leaves both parties with a sense of ease, diffusing hostility with a light-hearted touch. The act of responding with humor is a testament to emotional agility. It demonstrates that you are able to rise above the insult, refusing to meet negativity with more negativity. Instead, you turn the moment into an opportunity to showcase your wit and creativity. This response can leave the insulter caught off guard, as their expectation of anger or hurt is replaced with something unexpected, a playful retort or a self-deprecating quip. In this way, humor becomes a shield that protects your peace while simultaneously softening the exchange. Moreover, humor has a universal quality that can bridge divides and foster connection. By laughing in the face of an insult, you signal that you are secure enough in yourself to not take the comment seriously. This response can shift the insulter's perspective, encouraging them to rethink their approach or even join in the humor, transforming conflict into camaraderie. The ability to laugh at oneself or the situation transcends ego, creating space for understanding and mutual respect. Humor also liberates you from the emotional weight of the insult. Instead of carrying the sting of someone else's words, you reframe the interaction as something amusing and light. This reframing not only protects your emotional well-being, but also reinforces your resilience and confidence. In choosing humor, you affirm that you are the master of your emotions, capable of turning even the sharpest remark into a moment of joy or cleverness. To be the still lake is to embody a state of calmness and clarity in the face of insults and negativity. Just as a tranquil lake remains undisturbed by the objects that fall into it, you too can cultivate a mindset that absorbs the impact of hurtful words without being defined or altered by them. This practice is not about suppression or avoidance, but about recognizing that external provocations do not have to create internal disturbances. The stillness of the lake is a metaphor for the stability that comes from self-awareness and emotional regulation. When an insult is thrown your way, it is like a stone skipping across the water, momentarily creating ripples, but unable to change the fundamental stillness of the deeper layers. This deeper stillness represents your grounded sense of self, which remains unshaken because it is rooted in an intrinsic understanding of your worth and values. Being the still lake also means acknowledging that insults are temporary events, fleeting moments that pass through your life, like the wind across the water's surface. They may create a disturbance, but only for as long as you allow them to linger. By choosing not to react impulsively, you allow the disturbance to dissipate naturally, restoring your inner calm and maintaining your equilibrium. This metaphor also highlights the strength that lies in stillness. Stillness is not passive, it is a conscious choice to resist being pulled into the turbulence of others' emotions. It requires discipline to remain composed, to not let anger or pride dictate your response. Yet in doing so, you radiate a quiet power that speaks louder than any words or actions could. The still lake is reflective too, mirroring back the reality of the situation without distortion. When you embody this stillness, you create space for introspection and understanding, both for yourself and others. The insult no longer becomes a catalyst for conflict, but an opportunity for reflection on the intentions behind it, the emotions it stirs, and the wisdom it may offer. And so, my friends, mastering the art of responding to insults is not about learning clever comebacks or winning verbal battles. It is about cultivating a deeper awareness of yourself, finding strength in calmness, and rising above the transient provocations of the world. When you recognize that insults are powerless unless you grant them significance, you reclaim your peace and dignity. Let the stillness of the lake, the humor of liberation, and the wisdom of perspective guide you. In mastering this art, you are not merely defending against insults, you are transcending them, living as an example of unshakable confidence and grace. Thank you.